All right, welcome back to the channel. So Oscar De La Hoya basically says that they agreed to everything that Steven Espinoza and Jamal Charlo has offered them and stuff like that. And we know he's also said that he's going to get the big cut because he's the champion. But he also stated that he wants the zone to participate in this matter as well. I'm gonna break it down for y'all. Let's talk about it in this video. King Jr. got another video for y'all. Please share that you like and subscribe to the channel to get all your latest boxing news. I want to give a shout out to Prince Makoko for subscribing to the channel. And I want to give a big shout out to Mo Boxing No Problem. If you haven't subscribed to Mo Boxing No Problem, please go subscribe over there. He has very good content over there. But with that being said, it looks like Oscar De La Hoya, kind of upset about that. We're trying everything to get this fight made. We agreed to everything, and to Showtime, they understand that we can have the fight. They don't care. They have the fight on Showtime, but they want the zone to be in the matter as well. I think that's absolutely a fair statement for the zone to get in as well, because you're at a scenario that if Jaime Munguia loses to Jamal Charlo, that the zone will have to do everything in their power to try to rebuild them back up and stuff like that. And since Jamal Charlo is the bigger name, why not have it on their network and stuff? So there's not a problem with the purse split and the money. Oscar De La Hoya says everything is okay. We agree to everything. It's just the fact of the matter is that they have to let the zone get in this matter. So the worst case of scenario is what's going to happen if this fight doesn't get done for either Jamal Charlo or Jaime Munguia. I'm going to start with Jamal Charlo. Jamal Charlo, if the fight doesn't get done over the broadcasting rights and stuff like that, so I'm assuming the zone still having some issues with the broadcasting rights or something, because they haven't said what was the big problem. Oscar De La Hoya says we agree to everything, just let the zone in the matter, because remember, Jaime Munguia fights on the zone. The zone put a lot of effort into Jaime Munguia. So if Jamal Charlo doesn't fight Jaime Munguia, he's not going to have that many options, because a lot of people thought that he was going to move to 168 to fight David Benavidez. A lot of people thought that he was going to fight Demetrius Andrade in his division, which Demetrius Andrade moved up to 168 to fight Zach Parker for the mandatory of Canelo Alvarez. And Demetrius Andrade also has a few options to either come back down to 160 and continue to be the champion, or vacate the belt and move up to be the mandatory for Canelo Alvarez. We heard the reports that Jamal Charlo can fight Canelo Alvarez for $100 million with David Benavidez and David Benavidez and Jamal Charlo. He turned that deal down. And also, David Benavidez has a fight with Lemieux, so you're not going to get that fight. So there's not that many. Well, there was talks that Jamal Charlo could potentially face Chris Eubank Jr. Now, Chris Eubank Jr. was that guy that was on Jamal Charlo's undercard as the co-main event. That would be a decent fight. That's really only the stick and standout fight really for Jamal Charlo, because everybody in the middleweight division and up is really going to be busy. I mean, you could try to get the fight with Caleb Plant, but Caleb Plant seems to have no interest of boxing at the moment right now. So Jamal Charlo really doesn't have that many options. All really he's got left is Jaime Munguia and Chris Eubanks Jr. I think that's an interesting fight. I think Jamal Charlo beats Chris Eubanks Jr. in my opinion, because of the style and that stupid stuff Chris Eubanks Jr. trying to mimic Roy Jones. First of all, you're not going to be Roy Jones Jr. I don't know why Roy is teaching that boy that. You're not going to be Roy Jones Jr. There will never be another Roy Jones Jr. again. I don't understand why certain trainers and fighters think that they can mimic themselves by putting it into. It makes no sense. That's a whole nother video for now. But what's going to be next if Jaime Munguia can't secure the fight with Jamal Charlo? I really don't know. Cab driver after cab driver for Jaime Munguia. Jaime Munguia could potentially take that WBO route and take that very hard route to fight Janabek, who's potentially the next Triple G, and potentially get a shot at Demetrius Andrade if he makes the decisions to stay at middleweight or move up to super middleweight. So there's not a lot of option for both of these guys. They just have no choice but to get in the ring, because I want to see the best fight the best. And Jaime Munguia and Jamal Charlo is a great fight. Oscar De La Hoya says that's a great fight to make, and I want to see the fight. So if all else fail, I'll be satisfied with Chris Eubank Jr., but I'm just not satisfied with the style that Chris Eubank Jr. has because he's trying to mimic Roy Jones Jr. He's a 3D version of Roy Jones Jr. That means he's not really that good. He's tried to be good, but he's not really that good at that style because he hasn't had a lot of time to practice that style. But, you know, so Oscar De La Hoya goes on about this, and I'm going to play this audio footage for you guys about Oscar De La Hoya not talking about the zone and stuff like that. So I'm going to play this short little audio clip for you guys.
Versus Charlo. Listen, we won the fight. Obviously. And Charlo's the champion. He gets the bigger cut. We all know that. That's common sense. Showtime, yes, you have the fight on Showtime pay-per-view, but I need the zone to participate. Ain't Bill Tiny Munguia. That's only fair. It's business. More pay-per-views, more money for the fighters. What's wrong with that?
So you heard Oscar De La Hoya says he does want DAZN to really participate, more money for the fighters and stuff like that. So he's really pressing for DAZN to really make something and agree with everything Showtime. Oscar De La Hoya has no problem with negotiating with Showtime and Steven Espinoza and Charlo and stuff like that. But I hope this fight gets done. Everybody wants to see this fight, and we're going to have to see what's going to happen to the business of boxing. You guys know how this stuff goes. Everything gets involved, but when the business of boxing gets involved, it's a completely game changer. With that being said, it is what it is. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. This is your boy King Jr. I'm out of here. Peace.